Well, hey everybody, welcome to Senior Living Live. My name is Chris, and I am joined here today with Debbie Tavares. And we are at the Lakeside at Amelia Island. It's an Arbor Company community on Amelia Island in North Florida. So Debbie, thank you for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we're happy for you to be here. So before we get too far into it, tell us a little bit about your role here at the Lakeside at Amelia Island.
I am the Associate Executive Director. Fairly new role for me. I had business office manager prior to that, so I've been doing this since June now.
Okay, and in the Associate Executive Director role, what are your responsibilities?
I oversee the independent living, so everything to do with that. Could be the smallest thing, arranging a trip or possibly just billing. I do a little bit of everything right now.
Just to
social,
kind of help out,
little
but
bit
focused
everything.
on the residents in the independent living
Everything.
neighborhood. So we're at the Lakeside at Amelia Island, this beautiful community, and this is what we would call a campus community. So we've got independent living, assisted living, memory care, and then back on the independent living side, there's cottages
and homes, standalone homes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it's a big property, and I was speaking with someone earlier, and it doesn't feel big here. It's kind of a cool atmosphere.
It doesn't. It's like a neighborhood, and everybody seems to know each other. So it's nice. They entertain at each other's homes. They come to dinner together. So they've really developed a nice camaraderie amongst themselves.
Yeah, that's always struck me here is that it is big. There's a lot of people, but it doesn't feel huge. No. And there's always just some activity. There's always something happening. But yet we're here in an independent living model apartment, because we did that to be a little bit quieter than the hustle and bustle of the hallways. And it's super quiet. In the apartments. It's just amazing how they were able to make that happen.
So. That's true.
All right. So what led you to this role? What's your background in senior living?
I actually started in 2015. I was retired, and I came out of retirement to apply at Arbor in Ponte Vedra at the time, working with the executive director there who hired me, and my role just continued to grow. And once I started that role at Arbor, I knew I was hooked. It's a different kind of culture. It was part of who I was. I've always been a caregiver type person, so I knew I wanted to stay with the company and grow. And I was able to do that. Arbor allowed me to progress in my field and finally reach this point of as associate executive director, and I just love it.
So what does a day look like for you?
It's unpredictable, I will tell you. It started out very quiet, and then everybody comes into my office, even if just to say hello, or maybe they have some issues they have to address, but it's very full every single day.
And your office is right off the lobby.
It is, so I see everybody on a daily basis. Oftentimes I go out to the cottages or the houses to visit one-on-one for the people that can't make it across, but I enjoy that. I enjoy the conversation. These people have so much history that they're able to share with me, and I love that part of it.
To learn their lives and what's happened. Any interesting stories or interesting people that you've encountered?
Oh, so many. They're all wonderful. And I have a lot in common. I'm from New Jersey, so I get to meet a lot of the Northerners that have relocated down to Florida. And we just laugh about the places that we both traveled to, so it's a lot of fun.
A lot of coincidences.
Yes.
And
a lot of people that we
there.
know, actually. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. So when residents move here, what does that transition for them look like? Because a lot of people that watch Senior Living Live have no association with senior living. They've never, but they might be interested in learning more about what it's like.
Well, we try to coordinate meals with them in the very beginning, introduce them to the other people that live here, the current residents, try to build up that bit of a social connection so they can continue those relationships, after that they're settled in their home. And I'm happy to do that. I handheld a lot of times just to make sure that they feel comfortable.
And so how long does it usually take someone to get connected with a
Not very long. You'd be surprised. Just a few dinner dates and they're ready to go. They have more in common than they realize with a lot of the other people here.
And there's so much to do. I just love seeing, like I mentioned, that activity. But even just this morning, we came in and it was after breakfast, but there was a group of women in the dining room that were just kind of having their coffee.
Yep,
the usuals.
Yep,
okay.
That's the coffee clutch. They all come in together and they talk about their day, what they have planned, and maybe they go out and golf or they play bridge or do whatever. But that's their time together to talk about what they have planned.
So tell me a little bit about the team here at the community. I mean, it takes a lot of people to make this happen. And what is their role, in making everyone's day a success? Like, how do they contribute to that?
Well, we meet in the morning, try to give everybody an idea of what our day looks like. And if we have to assist one of the other team members, we're able to do that, work around. But we all work in conjunction with each other. Of course, we have a wonderful executive director who keeps the group contained, but we're a very active group, and we all get along wonderfully.
Well, that's great to hear. Okay, so a lot of people are maybe considering, who may be watching this, could be considering moving into senior living or to working at one of our communities or whatever. But what advice do you have as someone who worked outside of senior living and now in the industry and here at the community?
I think the one advantage of moving to senior living is that it's carefree. Once you come here, you can enjoy your life. You can live your best life. You don't have to worry about the lawn. You don't have to worry about cooking if you choose not to. You can just enjoy the social time with your friends, activities. You can travel, shut the door, and not worry any longer. As a former real estate agent, I can truly appreciate that, and I think that's a huge selling point for a lot of people in that age bracket.
And in this community has the independent living, so there's a little bit of an assurance, I guess, that if your needs change, then you can
progress. Yes, and we're happy to help you with that as well.
What does that look like for someone typically?
I would pretty much assess what they need help with. We have companies that we can contact right away, and we can get as little or as much help as they need to make that transition.
And that's something that we say on this show a lot, is that's the value of moving into a community like this sooner than later. It's that when a need does arise and those needs come up.
That's correct. It's
you're kind of readily available.
That's
right?
correct.
And
that's
you
correct.
already got a support system here in the community to lean on.
And oftentimes they don't have family close by. Family may live out of state. This may have been a vacation spot that they just chose to stay in. So we're here to help them as much as we can.
Yeah, and I just always imagine, we say don't wait for the crisis. If you're home alone, maybe there's a situation where you fall, or just even, we've had this crazy weather these past couple of weeks with, freezing pipes and things like that. And I just think about how people didn't have to deal with that.
That's correct.
While living in a community where maintenance is taken care of.
Phone number away. That's it.
There you go. Just call Debbie, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So what about advice for people who are considering working in senior living or working in other communities? What would you tell them?
It's probably I will say it's the most fulfilling job I've ever had. I have medical background working as respiratory therapist, and then I transitioned into sales. But I would say by far, this is the most fulfilling job I've ever had. And I've done just about every job in this company, assisting in some way. So I would truly give it a shot. You may learn something more about yourself than you realize. And Arbor culture is wonderful.
That's good. And we put that culture to work for the residents and the staff and everything. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Debbie.
Thank you, Chris. It's a pleasure.
For being with Senior Living Live. And thank you for joining us as well. You can hear more stories like Debbie's and learn more about senior living. Our goal is to sort of pull back the curtain on senior living and help people to understand what it is, because we recognize that people don't make a decision to move to senior living every day. And so we want to be here as a resource. And you can find more resources like this at seniorlivinglive.com. Until next time, I am Chris, and this is Debbie. Have a great day. Bye-bye.